Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Ted Talks, hosting another episode of Tech Tuesday with Ted. And the title of this episode is uh, Financing Your Phone with a Carrier is Not Free Money, You Are Just Dumb. And please excuse the Scotty Kilmer title. I just felt it was correct this one and only time to use it. Oh, excuse me one moment. My hot cocoa is ready. Do, 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 do. Just pour that in there. I think I'm going to use some whole milk on this one. Actually, I'm going to forgo the milk. I didn't forgot to take my lactase pills for it. Now I need a spoon. Whew, we keep things casual on this show. While I am waiting for this cocoa to cool down, let me get the word out. The show is live. Because this time I'm going to need some. It's not good enough just to be dogmatic in my own thinking. It's good to get thoughts from other people as well. Also, let me know if you guys have any audio on. I can't really tell. Actually, let me log into the YouTube. Add another viewer. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, I'm live. It's not good enough just to. Okay, yeah, we got sound. Perfect. And let me just share it. And somebody's calling me. Who is calling me? Hey, hey, babe, what's up? Say it again.
Thought you were eating. Camera is so dirty. You would never have it like that, Lord. I am done hosting a TT session. Oh.
I'm actually live right now, babe. Say hello to the nation.
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
I'll talk to you later.
It's all right. I'll talk to you after the show. Let me give you some forehead action, guys. But no, Brian, it's actually not cold, but I really need the caffeine because I made the mistake of taking Benadryl of allergy medicine in the middle of the day around 12 p.m. and I have not been the same since. Like I feel kind of lethargic in all the things that I do. Oh, sorry. I was busy sharing my stuff until the Bay called. Let me share it to the Discord. Let the Some Gadget guys, the Some Gadget peeps know. What I got? Put it on entertainment. Am live. I'm alive. Anyway. Oh, how do I copy paste on this thing? There we go. Copy paste. Boom. And let me put one on YouTube too. It's I've actually had this sachet for since I think it was last year, so hopefully it's still good. Of course, it's still good though. It's dried in powder. If it's good enough for the astronauts, it's good enough for me. And let's see, where am I going to share? YouTube, of course. I mean Twitter, of course. Come on, Twitter. Oh, let me put. I am on the air. I am on the air. Triple exclamation point. Boom. Tweet. I think it might just be you and me, Brian. Don't know how busy you are. Okay, there we go. Yeah, before I get into the actual start of the show, let me get some caffeine in me. Whew. And sugar as well. Mint cocoa. Disgusting. Kobe! Nothing but sink. Actually, you know what? Let me spare you guys the catch up on what's been going on with my week, and let's just get straight into the show. So, one time, actually about 6 or 7 months ago, I was on Reddit on the T-Mobile subreddit. Yes, I love Reddit. It's actually my cake day on there, and I forgot what we were actually talking about. I think, oh yeah, it was about this new promotion that they were doing for whatever device they had, and one redditor was saying that hey, T-Mobile's doing this deal. You take advantage of it. It's free money, when you finance it with them. And I was saying, no, it's not free money because, at the end of the day, you're paying everything back. And he and like a few other people pretty much ganged up on me and said, idiot, it's free money because you don't have to pay anything. Like there's 0% APR. And I'm just like, guys, no, that's not what free money is. You guys are just, getting people to just finance your phone through a carrier. And actually, let me just let me finish the story. In the end, like I got downvoted to by a lot, just over 1 hour of chatting on what free money actually is on when you pay your phone through a carrier. But I do want to preface this saying that this video is not about getting at people on how people should spend their money, but more like being honest with them, like when they spend their money. Like if you want to go ahead and make, like, for the purposes of this video like alone, I just say all bets are off. If you want to spend money on something that's silly or frivolous, go right ahead. Like all I'm gonna ask of you is just be honest with yourself that you're spending money on a frivolity that you don't need, or you you're making a bad financial transaction at a time. That's just being honest with yourself at that matter. That's I think that facts just needs to stay alive. If you're gonna do wrong, admit to the wrong. You don't have to be in the right. It's good to be in the right, but if you're not gonna be in the right, own up to it and just accept the villainy. That's sometimes we should applaud the black and white nature of things when it can afford to be. Most of the time though, especially when you're adult, things get a bit murky. But I made some mock-ups, a sketch. I made a sketch, not a mock-up, but I made a sketch to illustrate how people how Redditors thought. I don't know, maybe I'm just doing this show out of that's, I hope, is common sense for everyone. But for those lots of Redditors that I saw on Reddit, on the T-Mobile subreddit, I think this show is for you guys. So I'm gonna share something. Let me see. Let me get up the image of the sketch I made. Boom. Too many bottles of this wine we can't pronounce. Okay, it's at HIC. Don't know which one is. All right, I think it's that one. Nope, that's the second example, but I'll leave that there. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, now I'm going to share my screen. So you guys know what I'm talking about. Boom. Let's see if I need to make it bigger. I probably should have cropped this, guys, but sorry, I was in a rush. Again, I was kind of slowed down by the allergy medicine I took in the middle of the day, so there was some rush involved. But you still should be able to highlight my point across. But Exhibit A in support of my argument that, financing your phone through a carrier is not free money, you're just dumb. Here on the left side, this is the dumbass who thinks he's by taking advantage of financing his phone with 0% APR, he is getting free money. He is not. And here is why. So this is his money. Let's say this is $100 for this phone, and here is the device that's and this is the carrier that he's financing the phone through, and right here is the hypothetical the free money that he's supposed to be getting, or not even getting, but he's supposed to be using to pay for his phone. So here's what's going to happen, and this is like the duration, 24 months period. Yeah, you see, Apple, I know how to label shit. Put me on the payroll. I can take you. You guys can go far with me. So, dumbass wants to purchase this phone that's being sold for $150, not including tax. So the carrier, and let's say he's doing the T-Mobile plan, $70 a month. So he goes, okay, I want this phone, hence the error. He wants this phone. So T-Mobile is like, all right, you know what? You pay nothing down, but you just pay all the taxes, So, oh crap. Let's just say, taxes of $150 in a nice fair world is 10%. So he just pays $15. That's what you have to do. You have to pay all the taxes now, $15. You pay that. And then, all this money will be used to, pay for the, phone. And you get to walk home with it right now. And now, that immediate, primary facey, on the face of it, it looked like, dumbass has only paid $15 for this phone. And over a period of, let's say, 10 months, I know, carriers like to finance a phone over 12 or 24 months, but, let's just say it's 10 months. So every 10 months, he has to pay $15 a month. So here's the thing. I put 24 months, but I should put 10 months. Pretend this is 10 months, guys. Work with me. Use the imagination. So every month, he pays $15 for a period of 10 months. So in the end, after the whole duration of he finances his phone, the carrier would have gotten $165. Yes, because they got the money for his phone, they got the money for the tax on that phone, plus they also got 10 months, $700 as well, because he also bought the the T-Mobile One plan that he gets him unlimited everything, and that T-Mobile One plan allowed him to get this phone for free. It gave him the option to buy that phone, well, not for free, but at $15 a month. So, free money. Apparently, people call this free money because he did not have to pay anything. There was no interest on it. But just because there's no interest doesn't mean there was not still something owed. He still had to pay the $150. The $150, at the end of the day, he's paid $150. And, I don't like to say it, but that's become, his assets has transferred from money that he had, $150, to now a phone that he bought for $150. And, if we want to, delve deeper into it, after a year, because this is an Android phone, this is an Android phone, so the phone actually is worth less than $150 right now. And in fact, he also had to pay money for the tax. And arguably, the phone cost him a lot more. The real kicker was, he bought the T-Mobile One plan for $70 a month. So all in all, after the time of the financing has elapsed, dumbass has a $150 phone. That's, not worth $150 now, certainly. He can't resell it for that amount. And two, he's now paid $700 to T-Mobile for service for that $150 phone. And yeah, and dumbasses will say free money. They let you borrow the phone. they loan you out the money to buy the phone with 0% interest. And I like 0% interest. Let me stop the sharing. Stop the share. Stop. And I like 0% interest very much, especially when it comes to loan and credit cards and whatnot. Actually, though, for my credit cards, like you can give me as much interest you want. I'll always pay it off fast, so I won't get hit with it. But what I would prefer is having to pay a yearly fee to use the thing. But Brian, thank you, Brian. Brian is basically buying the phone slowly while being locked into their service. Give Brian a cookie. Thank you, Brian, that you are 100% correct. This is not free money. And Brian, I'm going to post this comment up again to illustrate another point that I made with exhibit after I'm done with all my exhibits. Now, I'm going to share another, let me rotate this. There we go. Now, I've covered, what free money is not, but what some people think that it is, but it's not, when you walk into a carrier store. I'm going to give you an example of what free money actually is. So we at least know what that term is. If there's anything, you learn from this, basically learn this, what free money actually is. So I'm going to share my screen again. And boom, Exhibit 2. What free money actually is, the real free money. And guys, let me apologize for my iPad. Piece of shit did not get this thing in focus. Okay, so basically, oh, hey Dave, how's it going? No. So here is, this is you, this is your job, and this is your 401k or whatever, investment portfolio you have. That's the money, that's the pot, your pot of, fiscal freedom, your, portfolio that you invest in that, you're going to take out when you retire. It's your money, but you just can't use it yet until you retire. Now here it is. And on the bottom here is the duration of, of how long you're putting money into it, every month, and then, you cash out when you retire. Now, here's where free money comes in. You put money in, and then your job, which is on the right side, matches whatever monies you put in. So let's say you have money in your paycheck, so you dedicate, $100, let's do $400 a month in your investment portfolio. And then your job matches that, because you're putting money in here, your job has a scheme where they will match whatever you put in, usually up to a certain point. But let's say you've maxed it out, $400 is the max you can put every month. And so your job will max that $400 a month. So what's going in your pot of money is $800. Now, this is where it's very important to distinguish this being free money. After the duration has run its course and you retire, all the money that you put in, yes, and all the money that your job puts in, when you retire, let me show my face for a dramatic effect. It all goes to you, to you. Okay, that let's say you were just putting, money for your retirement for whatever purposes, that $400 a month. That was money to you. But then, because you were putting money, because your job is nice and they want you to think about your financial future and retirement, they'll say, we'll match whatever you put in. That, ladies and gentlemen, is free money. All you have to do is stuff that you're already doing for yourself. And then your job just matches it, like up to a certain point, because no job's gonna. Uh, uh, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Dave Burns. Hi, Dave. And what's it? It's if it's still nice to see. What you talk about? If what's still there? Your investment portfolio? Well, I hope it's still there. And I bring that up because this is like one of the textbook examples of free money. And right now, my allergy drugged out Benadryl brain can't really think of another example of free money. Mm. But that is free money, ladies and gentlemen. The the quid pro quo, the juice, all works in your favor, and it doesn't really seem to there's no like anything much more you'd have to do for it. Ah, he was being he was just being Dave was just being snarky by giving me a heart attack. Like, mm, yeah, yeah, but yeah, it was actually Allegra. It was Walmart's pink pills. I took the pink pill from Walmart, their Allegra brand, and it was crazy. Like I took it because my eyes were itching and my ears was kind of aching, which normally doesn't do that unless it was an ear infection. But I assumed it was because of allergies, and me getting allergies this far in the game is very odd. So I just took it. I was like, why am I suffering? Let me just take it. Pop two pills, 50 milligrams, and 30 minutes later I was like, let me go lie down. Thank goodness I'm working from home and nobody from work sees this live stream. Yeah, I just snitched on myself. Yeah, I should have taken it at night. It's definitely a night thing. That way, that's the sleep side effect plays in your favor. But I, I think, am I going to be able to go to sleep anytime on time? Maybe by 11 p.m. But, so, to rehash what we just went over, ladies and gentlemen, we went over the traditional dumbass thinking of, what's free money when you finance your phone through a carrier. Again, for the purposes of this episode, I'm not coming at you if you finance your phone through a carrier or whatever, or if you spend more money on a phone that you need or whatever. That's not the purposes of the show. Purposes of the show is to think you're getting, like the carrier is doing you a solid, paying a lot of money on a phone, taking out, a financing option on a phone. No. And now you know what really is free money, where you get all the money, after the duration is done with, you get all the money. Ooh, what's Dave talking about? Dave is saying he has never financed a phone through a carrier, and I have to explain to my parents why their phone plans cost so much, and it doesn't seem to click. Yeah, it's crazy how they don't get it for some reason. You would think the older generation would be more frugal minded. Like if they drop the total price of your phone, if you're financing the phone, that might be a good deal. They're correct, Dave. But otherwise, if you can buy it outright, you didn't finish the sentence, but yeah, if you can buy it outright, what you will spend per month will be a lot cheaper. In fact, let me follow up your story with this. During my time in university, I was just explaining to my law professor. She basically had a tech purchase question where at the time she was looking at a deal with, who was it with? I think it was Vodafone. They're a carrier in the UK. She was looking at this deal where they give you, here's where they get you to, the carriers, the evil carriers. She was looking at a phone plan for whatever month, like let's just say it was $50 or 50 quid, per month. here's the thing: $50 a month for whatever the tariff was, and they were going to give her a Galaxy Ace, Galaxy S Ace. What was it? Maybe Galaxy S Ace 2 or Galaxy S Ace? Yeah, it was the Galaxy S Ace 2. And then they were going to give her the Nexus 7 2013, which during that time period, I think was like 7 years ago, 7 to 8 years ago, that everybody loved that tablet. And in England, they were giving off that tablet for free like hotcakes. A fantastic tablet, but still, it was very affordable, and everybody was giving it away for free. Like the New York Times and the London Times, like if you bought like an annual subscription, they will throw in the tablet free. And I was just explaining to her like, hey, it was actually more than £50 now I think about it, but I was like, hey, the tablet is very good and it's also affordable. This was what I was telling my law professor. But the Galaxy S Ace 2 is trash. Paying $50 a month using for whatever your tariff is, and also like using a Galaxy S Ace 2, $50, 50 quid a month in a Galaxy S Ace 2 should not be in the same sentence or line. You are paying way too much money. And I guess because she was a law professor, and I was gonna say, that I'm not gonna say it's a bit problematic. I was gonna say, because she was Indian heritage, or she's more economically minded, but that's problematic. I apologize to all the Indians. But she got it though. She was like, okay, I'll just buy the tablet and see whatever deal they can give me. So I love it. Like, she listened to sound advice that I gave her, and she took it. And then she got better for listening to me. So because she bought the tablet that was very affordable and very good, she could still she had more buying power. And I think she ended up walking away with the Galaxy S3 Mini, and not even for $50 a month. Like it was like $40 a month. So because she got she bought one thing half off, she was able to see clearly. And so she was able to get a better phone and on a cheaper plan, on a cheaper tariff, which it's great. And what does that tell you basically? If you stay on top of what the original offer she got from her carrier, which is she gets a phone and a tablet, and the tablet's for free, but at the end she didn't buy she didn't get the free tablet from the carrier, but really if you compare the two plans, the tablet wasn't really free. Boom, let's see. And Brian, you are 100% correct. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't have the money up front to buy the phone. Again, I don't want to make this about, what people should or should not spend on money. I just want them to be honest with themselves, and when they come into it with their eyes wide open. But, usually if you don't have the monies for the phone up front, it's usually a sign. It might be an indicator that you can't afford the phone. But if you want to disagree with me, go ahead, leave it in the comments below. Please do. I want to read up on that. But here's the thing. Like my auntie, bless her, all she does on her phone is WhatsApp with all her relatives in Nigeria, all over the world. She does the WhatsApp. She goes on the Instagram. She does on the Facebook. She currently has the Galaxy S10 Plus, which is way more phone than she needs. And she could just, I think, the T-Mobile does offer the A series, which she could have paid less for that. But at the same time, my aunt, she's kind of Nigerian. They like the new stuff. So, and if that's the mentality that you're gonna come into it, they want the new, then yeah. Well, yeah, you pay to play in that regards. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, Dave is saying, yeah, that's true. I mean, if you know what you're gaining with a finance purchase, but usually Android phone values plummet a few months and you can get a great phone used. That is very true, Dave. And in fact, as a rule of thumb, I would usually like to tell people never buy an Android phone from a carrier because there's loads of this. If you're going to get a phone through a carrier, let it be an iPhone. Because, on an iPhone, Apple, like these carriers can't tell shit to Apple. Like Apple would just give the phone to the carrier, and they tell the carriers like, don't be doing shit to our phones. They're not gonna put a custom boot up image on it. There's not gonna be any of that bloatware or carrier apps on the phone. And then two, and then you can get the updates directly from Apple servers. And then three, basically, the way the phone depreciates, it's very consistent throughout. So basically, the only worst time to buy an iPhone from anywhere is the month before the new iPhones come out. But generally, though, that's when I usually tell people, if you're just going to finance your phone through a carrier, let it be an iPhone. Or, if you're going to not finance, if you don't want to get an iPhone, but you have to finance, you know, as Dave said, make sure it is a deal where they bring the total cost of it down, or you finance directly from, excuse me, you finance directly from the manufacturer, which the manufacturers or the OEM, they'll probably use something like Klarna or whatever to finance the phone. In fact, let's see an example. But Brian is telling that carrier services are also overpriced. Yes, it's one of the reasons why I left T-Mobile. You are paying if you have like more than four people, three or four people on the line, then the cost. It's funny, the costs come down for each line, and then it makes sense, to do that postpaid offer. But then if it's just you, boom, $70, pay up. But I'm gonna give you an example of where it makes sense to finance your phone, and and the example we're gonna look at is Samsung, the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2, a $2,000 phone. Let me just share this screen. MacBook, my MacBook 2015 Pro is you're doing admirable, MacBook. I respect you. Chrome tab, boom. Ooh, Samsung look at that. Activate up to 10% cash back. But yeah, let's go Galaxy 5G. Let's go click on that. No, just click on that. Yep. There's more than one way to 5G. It's funny you should say that. Let's see. Okay. Samsung, you really need to just bring me quickly to where I can look at your phone so I can make purchases. This is silly. I guess I got to go explore the lineup or something. Okay, so you're just showing me all the 5G phones. Samsung, this better be helping you sell phones. Coming at me with all this vibe. 5G ain't shit in the USA. And that's true. 5G is pretty much in the great USFA. 5G is one of the slowest. We're number one with Corona, but we are not number one with 5G. It's a shame. But anyway, here we are. And look at this. So, $2,000 phone. And look, from they're all off. Somehow it's all slashed off to $1,000. So let's say we follow my example. We just we purchase the phone unlocked, and yeah, I get the custom silver hinge. Now here's how you're able to get $1,000 off. Basically, Samsung wants you to trade in a phone. Hopefully, you do have a phone to trade in. Let's say I have the Galaxy. Damn, that sucks. Okay, so here's their best value. Here's what they're offering. Get 50% off our newest phone. Pay only $700 over 20 months. Okay. So that's, wait a minute, pay only $700. Okay, you're paying $700 over 20 months. So that's what they're saying you're going to be paying. Now, then they also say return your phone in good condition within 20 months and then you'll get $1,000 back. So here's what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to focus right here in this corner. So the phone is $2,000 because you're trading in something, like you do with cars, So if you come into a phone thinking like a car, like it's a car, like you'll do well for yourself. But let's say the trade-in is here. We traded in the Galaxy S20 Ultra for $600. That brings down the price of the phone to $700. Right? No, that doesn't make sense. Let me think. Hold on. 2,700. That's $1,300. So 2,000, not including the tax, minus 600. That means you would be paying $1,400. That's left to pay. But here's what they're saying now. Over 20 months, you pay $700. Okay. So remember, $700 is what you pay on the phone over 20 months that you have to use this phone. And then when all is said and done, they will give you back they are guaranteed to give you $1,000 when you give the phone back to them, which I suspect is just for another trade-in for another device. And then you have the financing here. But here's a good example of where the financing comes into play. Although even then, it's not by much because bear in mind, remember, you had to trade in a phone to basically get this optimal pricing. And here, the other where it's so attractive is you trading in the phone at a guaranteed price of $1,000, which you can't really do through a carrier. Let me exit this. Oh, hold on. Let me go look at the comments. Carrier services are also overpriced. Yep. So Dave is saying it should cost less because the MVNOs pay the carriers as well. Yeah. Although, usually, yeah, you're right, Dave. But I'm just thinking about the popular MVNOs. They're basically subsidiaries of the larger companies that own the networks. Like Metro by T-Mobile, and then Visible and Cricket. Wait, does AT&T own Cricket? Well, no, leave Cricket out of it. But Metro and Visible are owned by their respective ones. And welcome, Ishmael. Ishmael is saying secondhand. Boom. Welcome, Ishmael. And Ishmael is saying secondhand market is where it's at. And yeah, certainly. We don't balk at buying a car secondhand. Maybe we shouldn't balk so much at buying a phone secondhand. Just got to do good, proper due diligence. Be very cautious, if you're buying a phone through eBay, unless but you can return it with PayPal and stuff. But yeah, but Swapper is always great, and why they're so great is because they'll make sure the phone has to be in good working condition. Two, you can ask, more questions about the phone, like, if you need them to show more pictures, or if you want them to test something out, or, make sure they install the proper firmware to make sure it doesn't get bricked. They'll do all that. And then most importantly, they make sure nothing is owned on that phone. Yes. I know Cricket is powered by AT&T, but I was wondering if AT&T owns Cricket. That's where I was a bit hazy on. Okay. How are we doing for time? It's 7:43. Ooh, 45 minutes powered on through. Okay. So, to rehash what we just went over, we have gone over the fallacy dumbasses have in their mind when they finance their phone, thinking it's free money from their carrier. We have properly defined what real, true free money is. And we've briefly explored where financing might be more advantageous to you. And that is, if you're able to finance a phone at a cheaper price than, it's asking sale price or manufacturer suggested retail price. Now, in this part, I'm going to go over what might appear to be free money, but it's actually not. Not here. Stay with me, because I didn't make any exhibits for this, so excuse me. Pardon me. So imagine. So let's say cash back. Yes, cash back. So let's say this Google Stadia controller. So sells for $100, but Google says, hey, if you pay cash for it right now, we'll give you $50 back. Usually, they'll give you $50 in a cash. They never give you cash. It's always a prepaid card that you always have to use your imagination to think of how you're going to get the money out. But let's just say for this example, they say they're going to give, Google says they're going to give you back $50 cash when you pay $100 for this. Now, you pay it, so you pay the $100 to buy the controller, and then Google pays you $50. Now, is that $50 cash? Is that $50 cash back free money? On the face of it, thinking, hey, yeah, you wanted this Google Stadia controller. Subscribe if you want to see a review of me, my experience using Google Stadia. By the way, do subscribe. But you wanted a Google Stadia controller and you thought $100 was worth it, and then you didn't really, you were gonna buy it if Google wasn't even going to give you the $50. But yeah, it's money laying on the table, right? So they give you, Google giving you $50 in that promotion is pretty much free money. And I'm just looking at the comments, and I would say no, it is not free money. It is really just a discount applied after the fact. And well, if you guys, let me know what you guys think of that latest example I gave on, it does seem to have the trappings of free money, but I say no, it's a discount applied after the fact. But really, I wish I could have a better, textbook definition. Maybe there is a way to get a textbook definition of what free money is. Define free money. No, okay. No.
According to usingenglish.com, free money is a benefit that has no costs. Here, it probably means that the person was not asking for anything directly in return for the money.
Repeat that, please. You're going to repeat that, Google? One more time, Google.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Ugh. Hey, Google, define free money.
According to Clever Girl Finance. To clear any open questions you have, we'll first clarify what we mean by free money. Free refers to any cash bonus or rewards you receive for signing up for and using a service.
It's as simple as when you receive a welcome bonus of 10 when you sign up for a new savings account. As stated by cleverfinancegirlblog.com. I'll find a good definition and just pin it in the comments of this for this episode. Brian is saying, yes, iPhones hold their value damn well, but he just can't. Neither can I. We just can't use iOS full time. OnePlus also seems to, in terms of Android, in the Android world, OnePlus holds their value of their phones, better than most too. And you also know who else holds their phone pretty well? Huawei phones, the P40 and the Mate series. I was really thinking that this whole ban and stuff on them would affect prices, at least get them down to cost where I can finally afford it. But no, they are stubbornly holding on to their price. Their price is holding on too well. Now, I want to close out by giving you guys a real world example on where it's also another example of advantageously using carriers finance options. Here, ladies and gentlemen, is this timepiece right here is what was this called again? To Watch by ZTE. I forget the name. Shit. What was this watch called? Let me see if I can turn it on and it'll tell me. Ooh, it's got power. This is the Come On Memory. I was playing on this watch for 2 years, God damn it. Why can't I remember the name? Come on! It's not going to tell me. But anyway, this was the first popular smartwatch GTE made. It was supposed to be like one of the most affordable ones. I remember T-Mobile it had eSIM technology. I remember T-Mobile was saying, what led me to buy this phone was like, oh, shutting off. Didn't have juice. Basically, T-Mobile was saying, hey, I can get this watch. I believe the full manufacturer price was about $200, but T-Mobile was saying, hey, you can get this phone for $48. When all the said and done, you'll pay $48 for this watch. All you have to do is just use our line. I think it was about $15. Use it with our line for $15 a month. And you get unlimited data, unlimited calls and texts, whenever. That's for this watch. So I could get this watch for $48 if I bought the line to use this watch, for the calls, for the data and whatnot. So when all was said and done, for the watch, all I paid was $48 a month. That was true. And also the tax as well. And for $15 a month, calls, text, and data on this watch. Now, how much did I end up paying for 24 months? Basically, I paid, for the line itself, way more than I did for this smartwatch. And, it would have been a great example of a win for me, except there was one huge thing. This ZTE watch made me realize that, smartwatches were not for me. And I never really enjoyed or loved using this smartwatch. It was always a struggle for me to last throughout the day, especially when I had, the data on. If I turned, the line off, the data off on the phone, or left it on airplane mode, then it was, easier to get a whole day's of battery life. And it's weird because the battery life was supposed to be, the great thing about this watch. That's why it's so thick. But, this was one of the eye-opening things to me on, being wary on, what you're actually paying for when all is said and done, like when you're financing through a carrier. I got this watch for $48, and it let me try out the service. Having a always connected smartwatch on my person, but I was able to see through this deal, which I paid more than $200 for, or 250, right? Yeah, more than 250 or $300 for. Got smartwatches for me, which it's a very expensive lesson to know about yourself. When arguably I could have purchased it maybe from ZTE for $192, and try it out for 30 days and then return it. But now I know. Well, I think that's the show, folks. Whew. And thank you to these exhibits. Hey. Whew. But that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Ishmael, Brian, and Dave for stopping by and contributing to this talk and making these episodes something more worthwhile. Tune in next Tuesday where I will talk about... Wait, who's on now? I'm not sure what I'm going to talk about. Oh, should I talk about... You know what? I'm going to talk about how you should go about buying your phones. Since we're all talking about, finances on, best practices for purchasing a phone, let's continue with that trend and see where it goes. So next week, please tune in and I will discuss what mindset is most optimal for you when you go to purchase a phone. Well, again, thank you, Brian, Ishmael, and and Gary. Welcome, Gary. You're too late. Gary, you're gonna have to catch the replay, Gary. And thank you, Gabe, for stopping by. This was a very illuminating talk. And if there's anybody that that thinks they're getting free money by financing their phones, please direct them to this video. And then after they watch the video, then you call them a dumbass after the fact. You can't call them a dumbass before the fact, because then, then they'll harden their hearts and they're not going to take any information. It's true. When Moses was asking Pharaoh to free his people, God deliberately hardened his heart. But anyway, that's the show, folks. And yeah, Gary, it's ending already. The Tech Tuesday live streams are short, to the point, for the most part. Good night. And I will probably see you, no, not probably, I'll definitely see you guys on the Friday night TED Talk, which I am hosting tonight, later this Friday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Oh, sorry. Silly me. I forgot to, do my usual outro bit where, this show is brought to you in part by the Glowing Rectangle subreddit. Let me get it up again. Boop, 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 boop. But yeah, Gary is also saying that you should unlock all the way. Yeah, unlocking is always the best way to go, most especially for an Android phones. Ooh, my goodness. Thank goodness I don't share my screen right now. You always have to go to where you want to go and then share the screen. This could get me in trouble. Sharing the screen. Boom, boom, boom. So, Tech Tuesday with Ted is brought to you in partnership with the Glowing Rectangle subreddit. Are you tired of YouTube always recommending the same shit? Because I know I am. Literally, I click on a tech video, and then on the right-hand side is always something by Linus and Marquez Brownlee. Why do we always have to rely on our habits from a goddamn algorithm? Well, thanks to the Glowing Rectangle subreddit, you don't have to rely strictly on the algorithm. You can instead rely on recommendations by your other fellow viewers that are interested in tech, just like you. Now, I want to make a point out clear that was made known to me recently. The glowing rectangle subreddit is not just meant for, tech YouTubers with, small subscriber counts. It can also be used for content that, you find interesting that's, in the tech space. One submission I put in though was I forgot this DIY guy who basically made a projector from a Sony Xperia 5 Z5. He has like 1 million subscribers, but it's a very interesting video, and I wanted to share it, and it was not out of place. And here, let me see what's the top video, the top upvotes for the day is on the glowing rectangle subreddit. Okay. Top video of the day is, congratulations, is that Tech Rant? No, who is this guy? I do not know who this gentleman is. And I'm Okay. Oh, look, well, here's a guy I do not know. So I'm going to go click on that. See? You get to learn something. He is Emilio Tacas, 27,000 subscribers. I do not know if I ever would have found him on the, if I had just trusted on YouTube's algorithm, but look at this, because I am a member of the subreddit, anyone can join, by the way. Go ahead, go on Reddit and join the Glowing Rectangle subreddit. I now get to see this person's Emilio's review on the TCL 10 Pro. After, how many months that it came out. And, that's great. The longer reviews are always the better ones. Second place is, okay, this is my submission. The Oppo, was it 2021? Apparently Oppo has a rollable OLED display. Definitely go check that out. But that's the glowing rectangle subreddit that you can find on, let me give you the URL, reddit.com r/glowing rectangles, r/glowing rectangles. Again, that's reddit.com /r/glowing rectangles.com. And go ahead, go on there. Feel free to give some upvotes to videos you found interesting. And do share whatever videos you found interesting onto the subreddit so other people can enjoy. But that's all I have for you today, folks. You guys have a great day, great week, and for most of you, I'll see you on Friday. Bye. Let me just enjoy the sip of water.